Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us for hashtag Building with Antonio. So we have been discussing and being in conversation about we're struggling with who we are and how that affects our work. And we've already we're first talking about the subject about behavior at home equals behavior at work. We've talked about lack of well-defined purpose in life. We've talked about working through lack of ambition. We've talked about insufficient education. Where today we're going to talk about lack of self-discipline. So today's title is using AI to using AI to combat lack of self-discipline. Sorry, typing and talking at the same time. Can you guys hear me well? Okay. Hold on one second. All right. All right, here we go. So today we are talking about using artificial intelligence to combat lack of self-discipline. So let's get started. Hold on. So let's get started. He's up now. But I said, kids don't care. Kids don't care. They be like, hey, I need this. I need that. I'm in the middle of a meeting. I was watching this really funny clip on, I can't remember if it was Instagram or TikTok. And this gentleman he was doing an interview and he was like on this major news channel or something. It was during COVID. And he's sitting there and he's talking. And all of a sudden you see the door behind him just open up. And you see this little kid just kind of just walk in, just no big deal. And then all of a sudden you see this lady come in, she's crawling. She crawls, she reaches, she yanks him, and she runs out the room. And then she comes back and she closes the door. And all the time he's talking, he never turns around, he never looks back. Because he can see all of this happening in his camera, as well as the person who's interviewing him. And he says, oh, I'm sorry about that. And you can hear the person talking to him kind of chuckling a little bit in the background saying, oh no, it's okay. No worries. And they just kept on talking. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. But I take kids, they just be like, oh, well, I don't have to worry about that. That's on you. I'm gonna be a kid. All right, so thank you all so much for joining us. Today, we're talking about using artificial intelligence to combat lack of self-discipline. So when it comes to your businesses, without self-discipline, a business can miss deadlines, deliver poor quality work, and lose clients or customers. And if you are in a job, you're not an entrepreneur yet, but you're shifting towards that way. So you still have that 8 to 5 or 6 to 6, 12 to 12, however it works for you. When it comes to your job, without self-discipline at work, you could fail to meet your work commitments, which could lead to loss of credibility and poor performance in reviews. So let's talk about how this looks at home. How does lack of self-discipline look at home? And the floor is open. I know it's early, y'all, but we're gonna have a conversation. We're having conversation. I'm going to present something to you, and then we're going to talk about it. So I have presented what lack of self-discipline looks like. So let's talk. What does that look like at home?
Well, Deanna, now more and more people are also working from home, which they weren't used to at all. And now it's more the norm. They didn't go back to the offices. So you've got being at home and being self-disciplined just in your personal life, but in your professional. So on a weekday, like my daughter works from home in DC, and she likes to work out. But lately she goes right after work to do her workouts and gets things done around the house that she wants to do early in the morning. And some people, like to work out first thing in the morning, then they're energized and sit down at their desk. But they also have more energy to get the dishes done, pay the bills, all the things that need to be done. And that's something that, for me, it's never been a big issue, because like I write down everything that I need, a to-do list. I think it's important to do that. The things that you have to do, that are necessary. And I write those down. I've already done that this morning. Make sure I check those off the list. And it might not be things that you necessarily want to do. And as busy as everyone is, it's harder to get things done. And then, with your work, prioritize, what's important, what commitments have you made to get things done, and make sure, you stay committed to that. And, being in business over 40 years, if we didn't do that, and Phil is self-disciplined in a different way, than I am. I'm a detailed person of getting things done, and he's more of a roundabout, and we struggle with that sometimes. We've always struggled with that, and that will probably always will, but it works. It still works.
Right.
And that's all I have to say about that, as Forrest Gump would say.
We got a few things out of that. So we have more people working from home, and this has become more of the norm. So for those working at home, they have to balance home and work. And then you have time management. If you're working from home or anywhere, it's a matter of time management. Then you have, if you make a list of the things that are needed to be done, then you know what needs to be done, so you can have the discipline there. And then if you prioritize your responsibilities better, or just prioritize them, period, then that's also one step towards building that self-discipline. So how do these things look in your personal life? Well, if more people are working from home now, not only do they have to have that self-discipline when it comes to being at home, but they have to have the self-discipline within themselves, because home is comfort. And we've realized over time that working from home, for some people, if it's a comfort level, then if they don't have a strong sense of self-discipline, that's going to go out the window. And they'll be like, well, I'll get to it later. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Or if they're like me, they see shiny things, like, oh, wait, shiny things. Knowing they have something they need to do, but something else catches their attention. Oh, they have to wash the clothes. So, okay, well, in the middle of doing this, I'm going to wash clothes and da, da, da. So who else can give us some things of how lack of self-discipline looks in our personal lives? And the floor is open.
Well, Deanna, while people are thinking of that, sometimes, for me working from home, like I'll be on this call and do things. I sat down beforehand and got some business things done. Then after the call, I'll get up and move around, and I'll go in the kitchen and do kitchen stuff. So I blend it. And and what that does is, if you're sitting in your chair, when you get up and move around, it energizes you. You get the blood flowing and all that. So I'll, water a plant, or, do something, around the house. for just a few minutes, 10, 15 minutes at the most. And then I'm energized to go back and sit down again. And I think that helps if people get up and move around, working from home and blending it in. Because, people aren't sure in the beginning how they should do that. And the pandemic, people weren't sure what they were supposed to do. The one guy that got caught, didn't have his pants on the bottom, that first guy, and everybody was doing that.
Yeah, that was too
So
funny.
yeah, and people had to learn that. But some people, we've always had an office at home. We've had an outside office and office at home. So we could do both.
No, that's
But
awesome.
these days, I don't think if you can work from home, I don't think you necessarily have to have an outside office. I mean, that's really going by the wayside now.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's funny you mentioned that, Miss Susan. I actually saw a video like that where the guy, he went to go close his door, and he got up, and from here up, he was all business, shirt, tie, jacket, fresh cleaned and everything. And he got up and he had on basketball shorts. And his boss pointed out, he's like, oh yeah, oh, I like those slacks you got on. And they all started laughing. And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And his boss was like, hold on, I forgot something too. So he got up only to show that he had on basketball shorts too. He was the same way. He had on his shirt, his tie from here up, and then from the bottom he had on his basketball shorts. So it's become, you have those who are becoming comfortable, like they understand, okay, well, I can still, well, I have on my t-shirt and my pajama bottom, so let me just throw on a dress and coat.
And Deanna, and just so I'm not panicking here, Phil, please don't stand up.
That was too funny. Hey, we all working from home, this is to be comfortable, as long as I'm business from the top up, home from the bottom down. Oh goodness, that was too funny. Grace, I saw you unmute earlier. Go ahead.
I lost what I was going to say because I was listening to you.
Oh, okay. No worries. So we've pointed out so far a few different things that we deal with when it comes to lack of self-discipline. So let's talk. How do you think artificial intelligence can help us when it comes to our lack of self-discipline? Okay, well, before we do that, let's go back into how having lack of self-discipline in your personal life affects your business. So habits, let's talk about habits. If you have a certain habit personally, that habit's going to come out in your business.
I would say exercise, it energizes you. People, when they first work from home, they're not sure, about doing that. They're used to going to the gym. If you're used to going to the gym, set a time and go to the gym. If you're used to working out at home, do that. If you want to dig in your garden, do that, because, getting the blood flow in your body and not just like staying in that tired mode, can get to you. And also make sure you stay connected with people, your friends and so forth, and get outside. During the day, you have the opportunity to go outside and get some fresh air and come back in. That's part of self-discipline, not going extravagant one way or the other. Not work full time and not take care of your personal health. If you don't take care of your personal health, you're not going to be good at work. You just can't. Over time, it's going to get to you. And you see, it's the trend for so many years, in the 50s and 60s and 40s and all the men would work, and it's still like that, work, and then they retire, and within a year or two they have a heart attack and die because they've sat at a desk all day. They're not used to it. They don't know what to do. And the woman's been busy. She's busy running around, and getting the exercise and getting energized. And the stress that, now it's women have that same stress, that men sit, maybe Adonia, she's sitting at her desk, she doesn't get to do the things she wants to do. And she's getting out of that. She's knowing that she's going to be working from home, but she has the self-discipline. But there will be adjustments.
Mm. No,
That's
very.
a good observation. But honestly, for me, out of the whole pandemic, we were off 2 months. That's it. November, and that was 2020. November, December, we were back in the office in January. So there's good and bad behind that. The good is people did not lose their jobs. People still had sources of income. So for me, it didn't feel like we even missed a beat. The not so good about it is I am a person that is easily distracted. I'm easily distracted because I'm distracted. People come to distract me because I got an issue or so-and-so didn't show up or whatever. And I'm looking at them like, okay, but I'm not so-and-so's manager, but they'll come to me. But I think the challenge with me is home. I don't particularly prefer to be at home because that's where the distractions are. I will guarantee you productivity is less when you're working from home. I don't care what you say. I don't care who you are. It's less up to the point. Let me explain productivity. Getting something actually done and focus time. I was working 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 hours at home. But I was distracted every other hour, every half hour. You get up, you walk, you go do something else, something on your phone, because you feel more comfortable. I can get on my phone and be texting or whatever, and nobody cares and nobody's paying attention to it, right? At work, you can't do that. So I didn't find it beneficial to work from home and then I'm paying my electricity, I'm using my resources, right? So to me, that's not a benefit. You got the TV on, you got too much stuff is happening. So I get distracted. So I was never somebody that said, "Ooh, yay, we get to be home." Now I feel like I kind of want to, but it's not as black and white or that often on, and it's not that specific for me because I see it in different perspectives. I'm easily distracted. And I don't complete things because of that distraction. And then when I go back to do something, I forget where I left off, take you a half hour plus to even figure out where you were. So it's not productive.
No, I agree. Because then you have to, not only do you have to figure out where you left off, but then it takes like 30 minutes just to get back into the groove of what you were doing. Like you were focused on this, you were in the groove, you were flowing, and then you get distracted and you deal with the distraction, but then you come back and it's like, man, now I got to get back into this mind flow of where I was and back into this focus of where I was. And it's taking me a second to do that. And it just kind of throws you off your whole work focus.
It does. And that's my life every day at the office, every day. It's a distraction. And then I have to, okay, where was I? Half the time I forget and start something totally different. Maybe 3 days later, I might remember, oh man, I didn't finish that. I thought it was done. But because I got distracted and stopped, I went somewhere else. And then I thought, oh crap, I didn't do that. I do that to emails. I type an email ready to send it out. Something happens, go back to it, didn't send it. And I'm like, well, I did send it to you. No, you didn't. Yeah, I did. It's in my save box or save folder or whatever, or draft folder. Like, really? Often that happens, often. So what I find is like, I believe what I'm learning, especially as I do this, and even through AI, what I'm learning is about habits. You mentioned habits.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, habits are kind of a routine. And then once they become routine, you do them. But here's the thing, our feelings get in the way. If you wake up saying, because I walk pretty much every day, weather kind of dictates it a little bit, and then my boss and everybody else that intervenes, but I walk every day. That's my sanity. I love nature. I want to be outside, especially now that our weather finally decided to act like it's California. I love being outdoors. And so I sometimes I don't feel like it. I've learned your feelings are going to get you in trouble. If it's a habit, get up and do it not feeling like it, because about 2 minutes, 3 minutes into it, you feel like it. You know, you're okay then. But that initial, I don't feel like it, that's exactly when but I didn't feel like getting out of bed this morning. I had a heck of a week. I didn't feel like getting out of bed, but my butt knew if I didn't get out of bed, I was absolutely going to be late. One, and two, it's going to be more difficult when I do get out of bed. So even when I don't want to, I learned, get the feelings out the way, get up being pissed off and get up, because it's going to subside and you're going to be okay. We have to get past the feelings of not wanting. I commit to stuff and then I don't feel like I had to wash it. I don't want to wash my dishes. I don't want to put my dishes in the dishwasher. You better do it, because then you're going to have 500 dishes in the dishwasher and you're going to really be mad.
All right. Our feelings. How many times have your feelings gotten in the way of you being disciplined?
I'll answer 999 million times. My feelings jack me up. Me and my feelings need to talk to Carlos and say, straighten her out. Your feelings will mess you up. I feel he made me feel bad. No, he didn't make you feel bad. Your story that you told yourself about what he did made you feel bad. When I got a clue on that, man, life changed.
All right, Miss Adonia.
And
Great.
when your business partner is your spouse, sometimes feelings can get in the way. You have to take the personal stuff and put that aside and remember your business partners during the business day and talk about that at another time. And that doesn't always happen. So, you learn to juggle that. And some days are awesome and other days aren't. That's reality. And Adonia, I think when you leave the pressures of working for someone else and working for yourself, you'll have more fun with it and be more energized. It'll take a little while to get used to, but I think the way you operate, you're going to be fine.
Look at that.
Thank you for that, Susan.
Yeah, Grace, I see you're unmuted.
Okay, yeah, I was saying the feelings get in the way to see the background, but the feelings get in the way because I don't feel like working out. But the backdrop of that is having to go to the doctor and finding out you got high blood pressure. So you can get yourself to work out. As a create a workout plan for you. So that's how feelings get in the way. That's what Mr. Doty was talking about.
Yes. And no, Miss Susan, I completely understand. You do have to learn how to separate. That's why y'all hear Antonio say all the time, she don't want to work. No, I don't want to be attached to the business like that, because if you say something to me the wrong way, it's going to. I'm learning, Miss Susan. I'm learning, but it's gonna affect me, and it shuts me down for a whole day because I don't feel like doing nothing. Like we just had this conversation and I still feel some kind of way about this conversation and I'm not in the mood and I don't feel like doing no kind of work. So no, Miss Susan, I completely understand what you say. I completely understand what you're saying when you say that. And no, Grace, you right too, because at a certain point you just be like, man, I don't feel like doing it. But then when you think about, okay, but if I don't do it, this happens, or things start piling up on you. And now you're stuck with all this stuff that you should have been doing, but because you was in your feelings, nothing got done. So yes, your feelings do get in the way and it does lead you to having a lack of self-discipline. I just had a wonderful idea come to me through the chat that is awesome. Awesome idea. Awesome idea. Awesome idea. We should definitely do that. That would be fun to do too. All right, so for those of you just joining us, the topic of today is using artificial intelligence to combat a lack of self-discipline. And we're talking about how a lack of self-discipline can hurt you in your business, but we also understand that what we do in our business is a reflection of who we are. So if we have lack of self-discipline within ourselves, how can we use artificial intelligence to help us combat that? And we've gone through quite a few things so far. Ms. Susan pointed out that more people are working from home now, and this has become more of the norm. So there's a lot going on with that. Then there's time management. When you're working from home or when you're at home, time management is out the window because it's like there's so many distractions. And then Ms. Susan said you can make a list of things that are needed to be done. That way, that self-discipline, okay, this is what needs to be done today. So I'm going to be disciplined and write everything down so I can make sure that I do this, that I get these things done. And then prioritizing your responsibilities, blending home and work. Get up and move around, get some exercise going on. Sometimes there's just too much to do. You have too much to do at home, too much to do at work, and you're easily distracted. But then your habits and your routine interfere as well. And then your feelings get in the way. So what other aspects of lack of self-discipline in the home life affect work? What about the lack of self-discipline to say no? If you can't say no in your personal life, how are you going to say no in your business life? I know when I first started off as an entrepreneur, I didn't say no to my clients. When I knew what they were trying to do was not going to work for them, but they still wanted to do this or they still want to do that. And instead of me saying, no, that's not going to work, I was like, okay, well, let's try to make this work. This may not work, but since you want to do it, let's do it.
Those are case studies for you now.
They really are.
Because you were young in your entrepreneurship, so you didn't have the, to say no, whatever that is, to say no to them or how to work around that. So now you have that. And it's a continual thing, really. I mean, we have people call us, to ask questions, and, it ends up being a coaching session. And I'm like, what, why just do the basics, set a appointment then if they want further, not, spend 2 hours on the phone giving them everything. People need to learn that, that this is our business. This is how we do, and everyone on the call, I'm sure, will be experienced that if they haven't already, being an entrepreneur. Whatever it is you're doing, they want to know all about it because they know you. They're your friend. Oh, I'm calling as a friend, or, I'm, just starting in my business and I really need, and sometimes we'll take some of those, but we can't do all that.
Right.
So, and I'm more disciplined in that than Phil. Because
Right.
I'm the one who handles the money. The person that handles the money, they understand, you gotta stay on that. Donya, you'll have that too.
Yep. Yeah. So saying no is important. And then not only that, it's if in your personal life, you don't have those that support you. And what I mean is, like, when you do things, they're not rah-rah cheering you on. That's going to roll over into your business, especially as an entrepreneur, because once you become an entrepreneur, like Miss Susan said, you have people calling, hey, I just want to help, da 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 da. But then you'll have those that just, hey, I need you to do this. Hey, I need you to do that. It's like, but I'm working. But you're not doing anything. You're at home all day. No, I'm working. So I can't do that. So having that, saying no becomes important, because you'll have people just randomly call you to have a 2-hour conversation, and you like, I can't have a 2-hour conversation right now. We can have this conversation after business hours. So yeah, saying no is definite. Saying no is also important. Anyone else? How does lack of self-discipline in your personal life affect your business?
Actually, Deanna, you know, when I hear you say that, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but this is what I hear when you say that. How does it not? I mean, because in other words, you said, how does it? My question is, how can it not? It's going to. And there's no way. I mean, well, let me rephrase that. There is a way. The discipline is real when it comes to being an entrepreneur, first of all. And second of all, working from home. You must be disciplined, because there's many things that will distract you. At work, it's kind of not as, I mean, it's challenging, but not as challenging, because, people are watching you, so, you can't get away with a whole lot. I mean, you get away with stuff, but not what you would get away when you're at home, right? You watching your soap operas, eating popcorn, and you might answer your phone. My in-law, the sister-in-law, she actually says that. She admits to it. Even at work, I don't really do nothing. She's close to retiring, leaving. She's been there long enough if she can retire. All I make sure I do is at least I answer the phone. If she works for the county, if they call, somebody, one of the customers call, I'll answer the phone. But she's not doing nothing else. If the phone ain't ringing, I'm not doing nothing. When there's many things she could be doing, she admits that, like, yay, like, I'm the champion. Look at me. I'm thinking to myself, are you serious? Like, for real? And I actually got her that job, so it makes me mad that she speaks like that. But I shouldn't say I got her that job. She got the job herself. I referred her to the job. But yeah, so you get away with a lot, you think, but you're the one that really pays for it. So you can go ahead and text and watch your soap operas and put your Netflix on, however people do stuff these days, but you're not fooling yourself. You're duping yourself as well.
There you go.
Well, one thing, when you have your own business and you're working from home, it's kind of like 7 days a week. So, if you do something different during the middle of the day, or a Monday or a Tuesday, you're still doing a little bit of work things on the weekends too. So you'll start to get a rhythm on that. I mean, we used to do a lot of networking. And networking is so important. And Adonia, you'll want to do that. Get out and network with other people, and that's business. And it's also fun, to do. And so you may, run an errand on the way there or back, you may have a doctor appointment in the middle of a weekday. So you do something a little bit more on Saturday. You'll get a rhythm going that'll work. And you want it to be fun and enjoyable. You don't want pressure on you that you have to sit at a desk from, 8 in the morning or 9 in the morning until the whistle goes off like the Flintstones and you go home. That's not the way it works. It's kind of just, you're always working and you're putting other things in there too and having fun with it.
All right. I am loving the conversation on this morning. It is awesome. All right. Any others? Any others?
I have a question because
Go ahead.
I get motivation from y'all. Because when you don't work and you haven't worked in so long, where's the pull come from?
Mm.
Like I haven't had a job since 2008. So for me, like my job is logging into the call. Real rap, I'm be honest. You know what I mean? And it is like, but then afterwards, if there's I guess is a discipline, but like you said earlier, don't you said about the feel like it. When I don't feel like it, it's hard to push through the I don't feel like it, because then I always have in the back of my mind, I don't have to.
Mm.
How do you, like I know that AI helps me with that, because when I didn't have the how to, now I can put it in the AI and it'll give me the how to. So now I have all of the to-dos, but then I go back to I don't feel like it. Or if I feel like it, it's good. But then I always rest back in the I don't have to.
Well,
Like how,
Adrian, I see you as an entrepreneur. I see you that you're working every day, and being part of a community that, that is work. That is, like you say, part of your work, and other things that you get on, even going to your church, because you have your book and you have, your podcast, all the things that you do. So when it's networking, it's being out there around people. That's part of what you're doing for your work at whatever level that you choose to define that. And I think that you do that. You have done that all along here. You're just doing it at a level that's comfortable for you so that you can manage your health at the same time.
which is declining right now.
Yes.
For the first time in almost about 8 years, I'm having the spasm that I used to have when I first got diagnosed. And for the last 2 weeks, it's been just completely scary, because now there's things that I need to do. Like I told you, I gained this weight. So now I'm like, I gotta work out. Like I gotta make myself move, but my body won't do it. So, my right side is pausing on me now more than ever. I finally told my mom yesterday, because I'm like not scared, but I can see the decline in the not what I want to do, I can't do. So when you get back to if you're not healthy enough, you can't do any of it. I think when I came on, Miss Susan, you were saying that, like within our health decline, like when Melissa said it yesterday, I think it was when we were listing them, and the first thing she said was the health, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, Jesus, they talking to me today, because there's like a push through on it. But like Adonia said, the one thing that I have always realized is that if you push through the initial I don't want to, within like 2 minutes of doing it, you're doing it. But you got to get past those first 2 minutes. Like I remember Ibrahim said it about the ice bath. And that's so true. He reminded me, because like I used to hate having to get in that ice tub. But like after your body goes through the initial shock of being cold and now being immersed in this ice, you can actually sit there. But that's what I run into. I don't want to, because I don't have to.
Well, Adrian, you should keep a record of your thoughts of what you're going through right now. Also, since you can't exercise as much, you need to eat even healthier, at the ultimate of good nutrition that's not high in calories. You need to cut down the amount of calories you're eating because of the lack of movement, so that, that's going to be the best thing that's going to be good for your mind and your body as you go through this. So, eat a bigger plate of vegetables, because you could eat all the vegetables you want. You can eat lots of veggies. That's not going to hurt you, and a little bit of fruit and a little bit of protein. And, cut out the other stuff right now, and you'll feel better and you'll lose the weight at the same time. Also, I think that, you could be a real spokesperson for, what you have, and you could have a community that you could lead, just like, we do here, and you lead that community and let people talk and share what they're feeling. And it'll be a place for them to get on every day that they need. And because you have the skills, because you are a speaker and an author, and you have been on these things, you're a teacher, you can lead that.
Well, that's good.
Thank you. I like that idea. Look,
I have to just say, I'm trying to shut up, you guys. I'm trying.
No, don't try
I'm so
to let
trying.
it out.
But this is not an Adonia show. This is ATS's
No, this
building
is
with
a
Antonio.
conversation. Come on.
But look,
Make it.
Adrian, my heart is so full. Do you understand what you said? And I'm gonna tell you what you said that just kicked me, and I'm just like, I hear a speech, I see here. Anyway, here's what you said. Because I don't have to. Do you realize the juice, the meat, the hugeness of because I don't have to? If we just figure that out, because I think we all do it, and flip that around and says, I have to, and then you add because I want to get out of debt. I want to be healthy. I don't want to abuse drugs. I don't want to be in chaos. That's why you have to. If we can flip just that, I don't have to around, our lives would be amazingly different. Because I guarantee you what you just said, there's not a person on this call that have not felt like that, have not said that in their head or outside of their head. I don't have to. I don't have to get out of bed this morning because I don't have nowhere to go. I don't have to. Get your butt out of bed. Go get a book. Go turn on some music. Go shake your booty or something so you can get your exercise and get your blood and your adrenaline going. We do things because we don't have to. But if you're going to be where you say you want to be, you have to. Even when you don't feel like it, you have to. Your words are so powerful. And if you hear that and you really sit with that, you got a speech, you got a book, you got a podcast, you got all this I don't have to crap has got to go. And you can be the person to drive that. Oh my God, there was power in that. You do have to, because you are great and people like me need to hear you.
Mm.
thank you. I receive it. Look, I don't want to say this, but what? I don't have. I love you though. I do. I love you. I thank you so much.
And then what hit me, Miss Adrian, was you say, yeah, I want to, but I don't have to. You are walking ministry. You've told us everything that you do. Like Miss Adanya said, you have this and that and this and that. So that I don't have to, but I still do, is ministry in itself. And everything, like you've been like Miss Susan said, you are an entrepreneur. Like, do you realize everything you have built? You have built so much. And so, but I understand that I don't have to. Like, I don't really have to get up this morning. I don't really have to do that. but there's something in your spirit that keeps you going. There's something in your spirit. Like, do you realize how many people who go through what you're going through right now, and they don't even have the energy to get on a call and talk? And you are present. Unless you are really down, that's when we know, okay, if Miss Adrian not popping up, something really going on. And 80% of the time it's because you're doing ministry. And you don't have to do ministry. And that's just it. Because you don't have to, it makes you walking ministry. Just because you don't have to do it. It's because you choose to do it. Antonio used to tell us, I think, was it Thomas? Like, there was one who was called to follow Jesus, but then there was one that chose. You chose. And that's ministry in itself. But there are a lot of people out there like you, Miss Adrian. They're like, hey, I don't have to do this. So I'm not gonna do it. Silas chose. There we go. Silas chose. Yeah, Paul was called to do it. Silas chose to do it. And Miss Adrian, you've told us your story on a few different times. And every time you've told it, you started because you were called. You stayed because you chose. And do you know how many people need to know that? How many people who don't have to need to see somebody who didn't have to but still did and still doing? And we're here with you. You are walking ministry. Let me tell you something. You are walking ministry.
Well, I bless God for all of y'all. Y'all make me feel like I'm not a failure. I'm telling you, it's y'all that y'all make me feel like I can do it. But then there's the other part of me. Well, I know that I can do it, but like, I don't know. It's just a whole. I think that when it comes down to it, like Miss Susan said, if you don't feel, if your body's not working with you the right way, it's like, yeah. Some push throughs are better. Like, I'll push through for you way harder than I'll push through for me. If Adonia calls me, I'm there. If the church calls me, I'm there. But then I know that every time the church calls me, I was doing something here in my house. But because now we got 4 funerals this week, now I got 4 days in the church. You know what I mean? So then it's like, then do I come in and then do what I'm supposed to do? Like, cause I woke up this morning and said, damn, it's Friday. I did say that I was going to do something on Monday and I ain't got it done yet. And now it's another Friday. And so now a whole week has went by. And so like you just said about the pile up, like if I go back into my, like, cause since Antonio's been talking about this chat, I've been chatting. So when I go back into my Word documents or my emails, the other day I had like 50 emails that I done asked Chibit something, copied and pasted, put it in my email, and then I'm like, damn, I got all this information in here. Now I got to go back and get this information and actually manifest this information because it's there. Like, because he's been teaching and all the instructions and how you ask AI to do this step by step. The other day when y'all was doing the menu, like how to eat properly and all that, like I have all those things in there. But then I'm like, damn. But it's like, I don't know. I just, when I go back into it and I have the feeling of going in and do it, then I go in and do it. And I can do it all day if I have to, if I need to and want to. But then there's other days where, like, I literally will watch reruns. I watch reruns to the point where I know what's going on, even if the damn TV is muted. And it'd be a good rerun, and I'd be like, oh, let me unmute it so I can see it again. Now I done seen it like Saturday. They do the same thing Saturday that they did yesterday. But I sat and watched it yesterday for no reason. So it's like that's a lack of discipline. That's like a lack of discipline, lack of drive. But when I get with y'all, I have it. Like y'all, I'm telling y'all give me life, but I realize that y'all are the people that I see. Y'all are the people that I see, but I don't know. And then the people at church I see and I don't know them. I do what I need to do with them, and then I go home. But when it comes down to like people that you surround yourselves with, like I told y'all yesterday, I have the people that I surround myself with are like church people, and they're old. So when it comes down to the 45-year-old me, there's no energy for any of that. Now, Adonia, you just said something that was so hard, because that I swear the only reason why we were little back in the day is because we used to go to the club like every week, and we used to just dance and party. And so when you said that, I said, you know what, she's right. I need to just turn the music on and like make an eight count and just do it until the weight falls off. But I appreciate y'all. I do. I appreciate y'all.
No, that's wonderful. That's why Antonio's favorite scripture is, be faithful to the few and he will make you rulers over many, because you have the emails and the info, but have not been faithful to it. So once you be faithful to it, God will make you ruler over everything that has been written. And Antonio loves this verse because it takes out talent and just leads to, and it just leads to be determined and consistent. So you got this, Miss Adrian. We with
Tell
you.
him I received that. Tell him I received it.
I will definitely let him know. Well, he's on, so he can hear you.
My brother from another mother. Thank you. I received that, brother. I do.
But it happens, So we have gone over like how, now when it boils down to everything that we've talked about, getting things done, not feeling like it, saying no, having too much to do, getting distracted, or actually just doing the work, there is artificial intelligence that covers all of these aspects. So let's talk about task and time management, because Miss Susan talked about earlier how if you make a list of the things that needs to be done, task management, and then working from home is you get distracted. It's your time management is out the window. Well, artificial intelligence has their apps and platforms and software that's AI powered, artificial intelligence, that can help you prioritize your tasks, set your deadlines, create schedules, and then a lot of them you can sync with your personal calendars. For time management, there's apps like Trello, Trello, and Asana, and Monday.com. And I've tested out both Asana and Monday.com, and they're both really good. And then they sync with your calendars. And mind you, sometimes you need more than one artificial intelligence platform or software to help you. Like with Monday.com, it gives you it's a visual and collaborative platform. And then let's say you have a list of tasks you need to do, you can set it up to where you get reminders daily. Like if I had something where every day, this is what I needed to do, and then I had this new task come up that's in the middle of all that, where you can color code it. You can sync it to your calendar, your personal calendars on your phones or your computers. So whatever I do in Monday.com, it shows up in my calendar. And in doing that, it allows you to be able to, it keeps your reminder. So those emails that you have, what you can do with those emails is you can take those emails, you can put those emails in like Monday or Asana, and you'll be able to, it'll pop up like, hey, Adrian, reminding you, I'm here. You said you was gonna have me done by Monday. Well, today's Thursday, the week before. We still have a few more days. And then if you miss it, it turns red. Like, hey, you didn't do me. Hello, like I'm right here. So when it comes to task and project management, you have apps like those that allow you. And then some of them, you can even, one of the things you can do to help you if it's in your budget, or if you have someone, oh, yes, I can. I got you. Here you go. Then you have, if you're able to get a virtual assistant, wonderful. You can add a team member, and whatever you assign that virtual assistant, both of you can see those assignments. So when that assistant does not do it, or whoever's helping you does not do that task, it shows up. And so you can go to them and say, hey, this was your task. You didn't do that. But if you don't have a virtual assistant, you have where you can set reminders. Like, we all know Siri just be barging in. I mean, even when you're not talking to her, she just get all in your business. She interrupted Jerome yesterday, and he wasn't even talking to her. Just all in his business. Just all in it. But you have Google Assistant. Google Assistant offers a voice-based assistance, helps you set reminders, schedule events, even helps you answer questions. Siri is a virtual assistant. We may not like her, but she can help us. And then Microsoft has Cortana. So these are virtual assistants that you don't have to pay, that can help you as well. And I put those in the chat for you too. They in the chat, Tracy. These are all, so if you combine your task managers, you're very welcome. If you combine your task and project managers like Trello, Asana, and Monday with your virtual assistants like Google Assistant, Siri, or Microsoft Cortana, you can put all this together and you have all these like constant ding, ding, dings going off. So that's a way to help you with task management, to help get you to make sure, okay, I have these tasks. Like Miss Susan said earlier, she writes out all her tasks. And then you can prioritize them. And in these same artificial intelligence platforms, you can prioritize them. I'm a color person. So if something's really important to me, I put it in green. Like this has to be done. Once it's done, I make it black. Like I either delete it or I color it black, so I know that is done. If it's black, it's done. If it's yellow, it's this subject. If it's green, it's that. If it needs to be done now, it's like purple or something. Because if I color code it, I know, okay, this needs to be done now. These other ones, I can do those later, but this one needs to be done now. And you can do that. Like, I know for sure in Asana and Monday.com, you can color code. I've tested them both out. That's why I'm waiting for Rhino Leg to come out, because while I've tested them both out, I'm a person, I don't like logging into 15 different sites. If you can put it all in one for me, I'm super happy. And that's what Rhino Leg does. So I'm looking forward to Rhino Leg coming out, because I'll have my my CRM, customer relationship management, on top of all of my social media tracking, my analytics, all that, all in one place. Now that's just time management. That's just time management. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Tracy. Floor is
All right,
yours.
good morning.
Good
I'll be on
morning.
camera in a little bit. Question though, because I do the same thing. I write down everything, but I've been just putting like in my calendar. But that's, and y'all might have already talked about this earlier, but my problem isn't the fact of putting it down, because I'll make my list of everything I need to do, but then it'll pop up in my phone. Hey, here's your reminder, 11 o'clock, do this. And then I'll just swipe past it and just won't do it. So what, like, even though I know it needs to be done, have y'all talked about how to make sure you're doing the things that need to get done, or not
Well,
yet?
no, that's what we're talking about, because if you have lack of self-discipline within yourself, it shows up in your business. I'm not gonna lie, I've done the same thing, Tracy. I've done the same thing. I've been like, oh yeah, that is a reminder. I do need to do that. Okay, then I'll keep doing what I'm doing. But if you have the self-discipline, you have to start somewhere. So one of the things that I started doing, because I suck at time management, is I started writing down how long it took me to complete a task. And I went back after a day and I looked at it and I was like, okay, I spent too much time doing this and too much time doing that. But then it's also, how important is it to you? Your self-discipline, it falls on you. So for me, and trust, I'm still working on it. I have not perfected this. I'm just telling you things I've practiced and done so I can see myself. I would, if I start a task, right next to that task, I'll write the start time. And then when I finish the start time, right next to that, I'll write the time I ended. And then I'll go back at the end of the day and I'll look at it and I'll be like, okay, well, I spent too much time doing this and it really didn't take that long to do. Not only that, you know you better than anybody else. So if you know just putting a reminder in your phone doesn't work for you, then you have to find out what will make you stop and do this. Like, and not meaning to merge Pathfinder into today, but I have to, because if it's not sacred to you, that notification can go off all day, every day.
Nah, don't do that to me.
All right, my
Don't do
bad.
that. But you're right, because like my only time starting next week will be Fridays that I have that I can get on the call. And so my plan today was to be up, do my morning videos, my morning motivation, get on the call and be, ready and live and on camera and everything. And when the 6 o'clock alarm went off, I just rolled on over instead of getting on up, even though this is sacred work for me. Okay, you're right. Never mind. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And I'm gonna share. Antonio has taught us, and he teaches us the part of the brain that knows what to do and does what to do are not the same parts. And that makes sense to me because I know what to do. I know exactly what to do, but doing it, sometimes I'm like, it boils down to sometimes what Miss Adrian said earlier. I know what to do, but sometimes I don't have to. So why do it? Or I know what to do, but the self-discipline to do it does not follow. Or I know what to do, but I just don't want to. And all of that falls into place. I'm gonna share this link with you, Tracy. It says knowing is one thing. Doing is what makes things happen. Doing is what puts knowledge into motion. Doing is what makes your goals a reality. So when the reminder come up and you be like, when the alarm clock go off and you be like, then you are saying, I don't want to make my goals a reality. I don't want to make my dreams happen.
Facts. Because like, I guess you could say the end of April, like April. Well, shoot, when my book first came out, I was consistent. I was on the videos. I was promoting. I was disciplined. But then it's like when May came, and I think you talked about not distractions, but like other things come up. But like May was full of a lot of stuff going on. And so I got away from doing those things. But in April, when I was doing it, I was seeing the comments and the likes and the people, responding and sharing the posts. And so my goals were, that's crazy. My goals were manifesting in May from April, but then in May, I stopped being disciplined on what I was doing in April. That got me the manifestations in May. Just a thought.
So think about what June is going to look like.
Well, and that's what I'm concerned about, because I'll be doing summer school, but I have to be there at 7 a.m. every day. So I'm going to miss out on what I was doing. So now I just got to figure out how to redo my time management with this. It's 7 to noon, but then I'll be missing all the morning calls. I'll be missing that morning motivational moment unless I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning to do it, but I don't want to do that either.
Tracy, reframe what you're saying, and you'll be able to do it. You just won't be able to do it live. It'll be there when they tape it. I mean, they record it and you go back to it. So make it still a habit for yourself, but you just have to alter the time. Yeah, it's not live, and it's maybe not as doesn't motivate, inspire as much, but the information's still there. So don't challenge yourself a little bit on you are missing it live, but the information is still available that you can apply. You're very disciplined, you're really smart, and you're motivated and inspiring, and so now turn it on yourself and tell the things that you would tell your students or even me. Tell yourself, because you know what to do. I think we all do in a lot of cases. We just don't feel like it, or our feelings get in the way for whatever the reasons are. You got this. It's not happening maybe in the order that you think it should, but it'll happen for you.
Yeah, Tracy, it's like you're flipping your day. You're going to do those things in the mornings until, early afternoon, come home, have lunch, have a bit of a rest, and then spend the evening listening to the recording. If that's important to you, doing your recording then in the evening, so you can just shift it around and make sure that you still, instead of feeling aggravated for what you're doing in the morning, be present there, be present and enjoy it, so that it doesn't drain you, but it energizes you, so that when you do get done at the end of the day, the things that you want to do, you'll still be able to do. And what you don't get done, take time on the weekend to catch up then, and it'll all work out.
Thank you all. That's really, thank you. I appreciate that. And as you were talking, Ms. Susan, I was thinking about what Mr. Field told me about my students, like during the regular year, like use the classroom as a laboratory. When you just said be present in those morning summer school classes, I'm literally going to be at a completely different school with high school students, and I have a whole new audience to get to learn from and to get content from. So I'm glad I asked the question. Thank you. Sorry, you can get back to what we were talking about.
Oh no, you're right on what we were talking about, because those notifications come up and we ignore them. The artificial intelligence has a way for us to track it. And it's time tracking and productivity. So you have You have apps like, and I already put them in chat for you, Miss Tracy. You have apps like Rescue Time, Toggle, and Forest. And what they do is they track your digital activities. They analyze your productivity patterns and they give you insight. Okay, so this is what we've noticed about you. This is how you spend your time. This is how productive you are. This is how unproductive you are.
Okay, question on that.
Mhm.
It tracks your productivity patterns. And then the other identifies time wasting activities. So that, if when I download it, it'll take me to, like, I can put all of my social media stuff on there, or all of my, and the reason I'm asking, because that can help everybody know when they're more productive. Like, for instance, if I've been doing it in the morning, like I have been, but the morning hasn't been as productive as doing it in the afternoon, then I may need to just switch my time, like shift, like Miss Susan was saying, and that actually might end up being more productive. But I've never used AI or any type of app to track the productivity. I've just been doing it based on what I thought was the best time or what time was available to me.
Mm. Well, what you do is you research, because one app may have a feature that the other app doesn't that you want. So research which ones, and it doesn't necessarily have to be these three. You can just go into your, you can either Google them or go into your phone and read from there, because there are some that link in your social media and they can track, and they'll track, okay, well, you spent 3 hours on Facebook today. That was unproductive. And then Rhino Leg also has that feature. So when Rhino Leg comes out, we can get rid of all these extra artificial intelligence apps that we're working through and only have one that we can focus on. That's why I'm looking forward to Rhino Leg coming out, because it's like everything, like one package. But
Okay.
but definitely research which ones will work for you, because you'll have some that'll say that you can sync with your social media, but then you may have some that's just, it may track you by you having to, say, you may have to put in something and then say, okay, here's my task for today, and you may have to click something and say, okay, I'm starting this task, I'm ending this task, I did this, I did that, I'm going on lunch. So you just have to research to see which one works for you. But they
Okay.
are out there, and
Question about Rhino Leg. And I know that I know Antonio is working on everything now, but I'm going. My goal is to start these classes, these online classes that I'm going to be teaching. I want to start them like in June. So the question is, when I went on ChatGPT last night, it gave me a list of everything that I needed to do to get those classes started and to promote it. And one of the things was creating a CRM and getting like, I guess, like a funnel with the class, with the promotion, with the payments, with all of that. And I know Rhino Leg is not going to be ready probably, well, I don't know that, but if I create a CRM with some other platform now, will I be able to transfer all that into Rhino Leg? I don't even know how that would work, but or would I just have to like get Rhino Leg later and then just like manually like move everything over? Or will there be like a button to just like transfer all of the, well, you can ask Antonio when you get a chance. But
well,
do you understand what I'm saying? If I start
no,
one now,
can
because
you
Rhino
just
Leg's
like
not up.
sync it in
Yeah,
automatically?
yeah.
Well, Rhino Leg will be ready this month. Woo, woo. And Antonio said that yes, you will be able to transfer all of your info. And with Rhino Leg, there will be how-to videos to help make the process easier, so you won't be sitting there trying to figure it out by yourself. There will definitely be how-to videos, walkthroughs, how to do this, how to do that, how to import your contacts, how to import your sales funnel. So there will definitely be how to. And We will do a whole month of classes during this particular call. Like during this call, we'll do that walkthrough like Antonio's been doing with, artificial intelligence and ChatGPT. He's like walking us through it all. We're going to do the same thing on this class, in this class with Rhino Leg. So y'all will have firsthand walkthroughs.
Is it going to be this class or is it going to be the other class?
No, it's going to
We
be
were in another class another class, the one that we had at 1 o'clock on Tuesdays. And that was when so is it going to be this morning class or is it going to be that 2 o'clock class?
It's going to be the morning class. This is going to be on these mornings. Yes, ma'am. And so, and then it'll be up and uploaded to Facebook and everything. So you'll have that, and it'll only be just for 1 month, Oh, wait, hold on. Antonio actually said the Tuesday class is actually going to become permanent. So that's going to come back and it's going to be permanent. But once I have all of the details, I'll definitely walk you guys. I'll definitely give you guys all the information so that way you'll have it. So you'll know, okay, for this month, on this day, at this time, we're going to be talking about Rhino Leg. And the Tuesdays will still be with a special group. So, but we'll be doing Rhino Leg for 1 month on the morning calls. So Rhino Leg will be for 1 month on the morning calls. So yeah, we'll definitely, so you'll have all of that information. You'll be able to go through and walk you through what we're doing, how this works, how that works, how can you import your information. And we'll do that for 1 month on the morning call. So every morning call will be hidden in a different aspect of Rhino Leg and how you use it. Okay, so so I talked about the time tracking and productivity, artificial intelligence. Now for your habits and your goal setting. And again, like I said, you are going to need or may need more than one app until Rhino Leg comes out. But when it comes to habit track, because we talked about habits, we talked about how your habits will definitely help you with your lack of self-discipline. It will definitely, your habits are why you have a lack of self-discipline. So you have artificial intelligence like Habitica, and it's in the chat. You have Way of Life and Streaks. These are 3 artificial intelligence that help you with your habits and your goals. Like Habitica turns your habits and your goals into a role-playing game. So for those of you who like gamification, who like learning through games and things like that, and you get rewarded for completing tasks and developing good habits, then you have Way of Life. It helps you track and analyze your daily habits. What these apps are helping you do is they are taking what you do on a regular basis. Ouch, I just hit my knee. Oh, that hurt. Sorry, y'all, that really hurt. Is taking what you do on a daily basis and it's putting it in your face like, hey, you spent too much time on Instagram today. That is not good. So what can we do to help you minimize the time you spend in this area? Well, with the habit tracking and goal setting apps, it shows you, hey, it's putting in your face, this is your habit. You see that right there? I have an M in my hand. M right there. It's this right here, that's screwing you over. That habit right there sucks. Let's fix it. Now I'm being blunt, but of course the apps are nicer. Oh, look, it looks like you need help with this area. There's this one app I used to, I can't remember the name of it, but it tested you. Oh, wait, just FYI. Oh, today's Miss Sandra's birthday. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy, for reminding us. Happy birthday, Miss Sandra. There she go. She tucked in behind a box somewhere. Y'all know how Miss Sandra do. She gonna
That's a shame. That is a shame. You better go to the bathroom. It's your birthday.
Miss Adrian, if you wouldn't mind, if you have the energy, could you bless Miss Sandra with a happy birthday? Oh, no, Miss Tracy. That's not, no, you interrupt with news like that. You interrupt with news like that. But happy birthday, Miss Sandra. Happy birthday. We are celebrating with you.
Thank you so much. Nobody but misunderstood Adrian.
Get on my nerves. Y'all know I ain't ready.
I'm
Look,
out.
y'all know I ain't ready.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen to you sing
Uh,
in the midst
You went
of
to the
my
bathroom? You
my
went to the
work.
bathroom?
Nope, I ain't in the bathroom. I'm right here in the workflow
All right. Well,
with all my coworkers.
I know that's right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Sandra, my mom and everyone's mother. Happy birthday to you. Come on, y'all. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. It's your birthday.
That's
It's your
good.
birthday. Shine a light on them. Look, shine a light on them. Hey, shine a light on them. Love you.
Thank
Happy
you
birthday.
so much. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Happy birthday.
Look,
Thank you,
y'all.
Thank
Tracy.
you. Love y'all.
We
Thank
love you
you.
too. Look, y'all, we saw the boxes that Miss Sandra be hiding behind for the first time. Y'all saw the boxes? Now we know what she be ducking.
I know, right?
Miss Sandra, make sure you send us a post in the chat, your Cash App, so we can bless you for your birthday. Please make sure you do that.
We'll do. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. See, that's good. Miss Tracy, don't apologize for those interruptions.
And just a sidebar with that, Miss Sandra Lucky's podcast interview will be airing on Sunday on What's Your Mess. Y'all want to check it out. It's going like it is amazing. So just to let y'all know, a little plug there for What's Your Mess, mental, emotional, social status of life.
Ooh, all right now. All right. Go ahead, Grace. You're unmuted.
I just want to say happy birthday, Miss Sandra. That's my Sunday, my Sunday show. Listen, okay, because I got to make sure I get on. I missed the last Sunday. I was like, wait a minute, did you go live? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, God, I missed it. So, yes, yeah, happy birthday, Miss Sandra. Hope you have many more and enjoy your day today.
Thank you so much, Gracie. Woo! That makes it extra special. You said something. God bless. God bless. And y'all on that interview, when I tell you that Tracy Armstrong, that Armstrong is strong. You heard me. You heard me. I'm just saying. That's all the luck.
It is Miss Sandra. She be pulling it out of you. You be like, I wasn't supposed to be crying. But no, Tracy gonna pull it out of you. She gonna Oprah you.
Yeah, I'm working on my Oprah status. Yes.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But I got to prioritize and get my time management and my self-discipline under control.
And we gonna do it. And we all gonna do it together. So when it comes to those habits and that time management, that self-discipline, there are all types of platforms that you can use. And I'm putting them in. So the next one is like distraction. We get distracted so easily. But look, you have apps like Freedom cold turkey and focus at will. See, freedom blocks distracting websites, apps, and notifications, allowing you to focus on your work. Now, one of the wonderful things that we can do to help us with distractions is this little thing right here. Just take it, put it on vibrate, flip it over like this, and then just lay it next to you. I do it again. Take this thing right here, you put it on vibrate, and you take it, you flip it over like this, and then you just lay it right there next to you. It
Okay,
helps me.
question. This is my
Why you
problem.
put it on vibrate? You can still hear it when it vibrates. Can't you put it on silent?
You put on silent, vibrate.
Because if you vibrate, at first I didn't know what you were looking
I
at.
got a
which was
better
good.
idea. Turn it off.
I was
Turn
gonna
it
say mine be off or in the
OFF.
other
Turn it
room.
Off in the other room, all that. Now
But
that's
see,
just
that's the problem. I use my phone for my business. Like my phone is where I do my videos. My phone is where I do my posts. So like my Facebook, all that stuff. And what happens is I go
Facebook does
to
its job.
do a video and I'm trying to, this is what happened yesterday. It took me 3 hours to post my little reel because I did the video, went on Facebook to post it, got distracted by somebody else's, and then went back to put mine in and had to go to YouTube to do some stuff. And so how do you do that when your phone is what you are using? Like it's a challenge sometimes.
If you're not using it, put it down. And then if you know I'm doing this so I can upload a video, focus on that video. Tracy, I understand. Let me tell you why. See, I don't do a lot on my cell phone when it comes to social media as far as work goes, because I don't use social media to work. I use it, I'm a consumer. And what I do, everything I do is online. Well, I have logged in to do some stuff, and you're right. It does its job. Like social media does its job. So what I'm teaching myself to do is I'm on here for a specific reason. Do not get don't get distracted when I see the little because when you first log into Facebook, it's all kind of stuff like right there in your face. And I force myself to go straight to where I need to go. If I can avoid logging in altogether, that's what I do. So if I need to post something, I go to Hero Post. Or I go to Facebook Manager. I stay off the actual site itself.
Okay, that's a good point. My question is this. With that, like I go on to post a video, right? But I may have replies or comments from people in my group, or I may have people commenting from whatever previous post that I may have done. So I have to, as a good social media person, I'm supposed to go back and comment to everybody that has commented, right? Or should I? Oh, I have an idea. I should make that a part of the schedule out. Okay, never mind. I just fixed my own problem. What I was thinking, for those that wasn't in my head, to actually schedule a time in my little time management schedule to go and comment outside of the time when I'm supposed to be posting the video. Okay, never mind. Got it.
Now, when you schedule that time, because you are on social media responding, you may have to schedule a few of those a day. So maybe 4 a day, 15 minutes each, where you can go in and do those comments, because the comments are always going to be rolling in. But if you only respond once a day, you're going to miss a lot of them. So if you go in and schedule at least 15 minutes in 4 out, like in increments, like 4 15-minute sessions throughout the day where you can go in. And then once you get home and everything is done, then you can go in and just fill the rest of it in. But at least throughout the day, okay, at 10 o'clock, I got 15 minutes to go in and check these. At 2 o'clock, I got 15 minutes to go and check these. At 6 o'clock, I got 15 minutes to go and check these. Okay, I'm home, I've had dinner. It's about 10 o'clock at night, and I'm gonna just go ahead and just, respond to the rest of these. So that way, there's a consistency that, at least I'm responding to these messages 4 times a day, scheduled time. So I know I'm not missing. So when you're doing your schedule, just think of something like that. That way, it's not just once a day. So I don't want to miss all of these where, at least a few, because you're on multiple platforms. So maybe at 10 o'clock for 15 minutes, you respond to the Facebook comments. At 2 o'clock, you respond to the Instagram. At this time, you respond to the YouTube. And then at night, you just go in and make sure that you either got them all or respond to ones that just came in. But make sure you allot that time for you. So then you can eliminate later on people saying, well, she take forever to respond to comments, or, she responded to this person's comment, but I was there too. And I was right after that person. That you can eliminate some of that.
Thank you. I didn't even think about that because I do that all the time. Do you think people actually think? I guess they do, because you said it. I never thought about somebody saying, oh, well, she didn't respond to me, or she only gave me a heart, but she gave them a whole paragraph. Oh, let me think about that.
Oh, that is real. That is real, Miss.
That is real,
Miss Tracy. When you said that, yes, I said it in my head sometimes. Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
Because in your awareness, Miss Tracy, you understand emotional intelligence and you understand people's emotional statuses. There are people out there just like us, worse than us, better than us when it comes to awareness. So you'll have somebody who makes comments just to get a response because it makes them feel good. And we all have them on our pages. Or you'll have somebody that'll be like, well, she didn't respond to me, so I'm not going to watch her videos anymore. She didn't respond to me, so I'm just going to stop following her altogether. So you do that, and that is across the board. From Oprah to Oprah. I don't know who that is. I'm just throwing out a name. So yes, ma'am, they do. They are out there. And then you're gonna have some people that are just, no matter what you do. Like Mr. Phil said, I think it was the other day, there's 25% of the people in the world that just don't like you. There's no reason for it. They just don't like you. You remind them of somebody, you act like somebody that they know, or they just don't like you. And you'll never be able to change that. If I would have had that advice when I was in kindergarten, Mr. Phil, where was you at when I was in kindergarten? I needed that. But no, so you have to understand that there are 25% of people, like Mr. Phil said, there's 25% of people in the world that are just not going to like you. Okay, so focus and distraction. We're easily distracted. So to help us battle that, we have freedom, cold turkey, and focus at will. And so we talked about freedom. You have cold turkey. It provides website and app blocking features as well as advanced scheduled options to maximize productivity. Then you have focus at will. It delivers personalized music and soundtracks designed to enhance focus and productivity. There are times where I will listen to a certain song only, and it's only that one song that I'll listen to because it stimulates something in my brain that zones me in. It's all I'm doing. It's all I'm working on. It's all I'm focused on. And that music, and I just keep it on replay, or I'll put on an album of classical music. And it all depends on the mode. If you're feeling creative, there's a soundtrack that you can use for that. If there's a certain energy that you're putting into what you're working on, there's a soundtrack for that. And it helps you stay focused and eliminates distractions. There's sometimes, and then sometimes I just need noise in the background. So I'll put on like a TV series in the background and just be letting it play. But then when that starts becoming a distraction to me in itself, I have to turn that off. So I don't
That's what I do.
So I don't fall into the distraction, because sometimes you'll be listening to something in the background and you'll be focused in, and then something on that TV show will catch your attention. You'll be like, wait a minute, I got to see that. And the next thing you know, you've been spending 2 hours watching a TV show, just like you log into social media and you be like, let me just watch this video because this video caught my attraction. Next thing you know, 3 hours later, or as in TikTok, the next morning, you sitting here like, wait a minute, did I go to sleep? And then you have performance analytic apps. We'll post those here. There you go. So you have apps like Rescue Time and ClickUp and Timular. And basically, it provides detailed reports and analytics of your digital activities and productivity. It's like the one that we mentioned above. Which one was it? Like one of the habit trackers, or was it the time and productivity? Yeah, it was time and productivity. And then you have ClickUp, which offers project management features combined with productivity analytics to track individual and team performance. So you can track your individual performance. Let's say you have a friend that's like, oh, I want to help you. I'll do whatever it takes to help you. I want to make sure that, you know, everything that you have, I want to be able to help you. I want to help you grow and build. Okay, here's this app. I'm going to give you things and we work it that way. And then you have Timular. It provides a physical time tracking device combined with software analytics for time management and productivity analysis. So there's plenty of artificial intelligence that will help you when it comes to your self-discipline, but ultimately it's like, it's when you know better, you do better, kind of. If you know this is what's going on and I know what to do, then I have to do better. It falls in line with the understanding the difference between knowing and doing. And then you also have to, and it's all about you. What is sacred to you? What is important to you? If it's not important to you to get out of bed in the morning, you're going to hit that alarm clock every 9 minutes. I know that sounds like an odd time, but my alarm clock goes off every 9 minutes. I hit snooze.
Mine's is 5.
Mine is
Every
9.
5 minutes, my alarm goes off.
Mine is 9. It's an awkward number. Then you hit it again. So it all boils down to you. What is your desire? What are your goals? What are your dreams? What is sacred to you? And you utilize the artificial intelligence to help you maximize what you're trying to do, what you're working on, the goals you have set. And then once Rhino Leg comes out, we can do it all in one place. So does anyone have any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything you want to get off your chest? You just want to say, I love y'all. And I want to thank y'all so much for being so active this morning. Thank you for the conversation. It's been a wonderful conversation this morning. Absolutely wonderful.
Can I just leave you with a song? Not a song. Shut up, Jerome. But Kurt Franklin has a new single, and it's one of those where, like, you know, there was a whole lot of stuff going on, and it came on, and it was one of those stop moments. Like, what's that? That's new. Listen to that. And yeah, Kurt Franklin has a new single out, and it's worth the listening. Well, I enjoyed it, and y'all are family, so I wanted to share it just in case you haven't heard it yet.
Is it called All? No, it's 27 Days. Is it called All Things?
All Things. All Things. Yep.
Right. I'm going to share
As Mint's new
the
owner.
link.
Hey, everyone. Our research department.
Okay, gotta add. Okay, there we go.
Can I talk to you?
I'm gonna share the link with everyone and share the link with everyone in. There we go. And it's called Kirk Franklin, All Things. There we go. I'll share that with everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. We will see you all on Monday.
Can I show y'all this?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Look what I found. I'm gonna wear it all day today. Wait a minute. I'm gonna wear it all day today. Look at that.
Oh wow.
Woo!
Yes, you deserve it.
Wow.
Because that's my
love it.
favorite color.
I love it.
Here
It
we
matches.
Come on,
It
Queen.
matches.
Come on,
love y'all.
Queen.
Thank you. Y'all have
Love
a
you
great
too.
weekend.
You too. Happy birthday. Enjoy your birthday weekend.
Thank you. Will do.
How much is it?
Love everybody.
How much is that? You gotta buy it. Text me. I'm just saying, happy birthday.
What you
know?
say?
How much is it? That way I don't say nothing.
I know that's right. I'm gonna find out.
Find out, send it to me. Get to me. Yeah.
Bad.
Uh-huh. Happy birthday. Shoot. Cause you know they be acting funny and stuff like, why you got it on that? Excuse me. If I got to take my receipts away, that's mine. It's my birthday.
Come on now. I love you all so much. You can plant better. You can dominate. Everyone have an amazing weekend. Love you all.
Love you more.